What's up guys, welcome back to Fancy Goldfish Fanatics. Today we are going to be filming a absolutely awesome Japanese goldfish farm / shop tour. So make sure you stay tuned to find out more. Hey Fanatics family, welcome back. As always, check out all of the links in the descriptions and make sure to check out our sponsors because we are running a current competition with them where you can win $50 to spend at Jimmy Goldfish USA or £50 to spend at Star Fisheries. That competition closes on the 24th of December, so make sure you head over to the Fanatics Family Facebook group and check out the pinned post at the top of the group to get yourself entered into the free giveaway. Now onto today's video. Previously we did a video from Ryo Watanabe where he visited a koi and goldfish farm / shop, and I really enjoyed doing that video and hopefully you guys did as well. So today we are doing one that's just going to be on a goldfish shop that he filmed. Now I'm going to put a little link down below to the original video because I am not the original video creator. However, I'm going to be doing some narration over the top. We're going to be having a look at the different goldfish and doing sort of a kind of reacts video to it. So without further ado, let's get the video on the screen now and let's check it out. Now straight off the bat we can see an absolutely amazing setup. We've got these awesome fiberglass troughs which you can completely walk around in this shop, and I'm loving the selection of goldfish. Those Japanese top view ranchu look absolutely incredible, and I'm really liking the fact that this farm just has top-down viewing ponds. It's really nice to see all of these fish from the top and have a look at the different varieties and the different color patterns and selections from the top rather than always looking at these goldfish through the side. Now obviously this is a Japanese farm or a Japanese shop, so I would say there's a high majority of Japanese top view ranchu, which we can see predominantly on the screen now, but I'm sure they have some other varieties for sale as well. But I'm really liking these small troughs. You've got a light stocking density even though it is a shop, but the fish look really healthy, really clean, and the quality just looks really nice. I like that each tank or each pond has its own filter as well, which is really good for quarantining techniques, and there is generally no cross contamination. When you see a shop that has separate filters, it's got separate nets and separate systems for each variety or each different breeder's fish. We can always have a good mindset that that breeder or that dealer really cares about the quality of fish and they really don't want any diseases or pathogen outbreaks. So that always gives me something in the back of my mind that knows that this dealer really knows what they're doing and they are really optimally trying to make sure the fish are cared for well and that you're not going to end up with any problems. Now we've got a huge selection of fish on the screen. We've had some really small ranchu you can see in the shot there, up to some really nice Japanese top view ranchu, and I really thank Ryo Watanabe for doing this absolutely great quality filmed episode for me to react to or me to narrate. So thank you Ryo, or Ryo, however I pronounce your name. Hopefully I haven't butchered that too bad, but I really thank you for this great quality video that you've brought to us. We can also see there are some koi here. So these guys are Yamabuki Ogon. They look quite small fish. They look like there might be some butterfly koi in there as well, which have the elongated fins, and they are similar to a veil tail with the nice elongated fins to them. Personally, not my cup of tea, but I know a lot of people do like the butterfly or dragon-tailed koi, as some people call them. But it looks like this fish shop is predominantly with the goldfish, and we have a few maybe tamasaba here. Tamasaba are very common in Japan. The top view ranchu and the tamasaba are sort of what Japan is known for in the goldfish world at producing. The tamasaba are very similar to a ryukin in form. They are much larger though, and they generally do well in ponds. Tamasaba get to a good hand or 2 hand size in the right environment, and they are a little bit stronger and a little bit more of an older generation fish in comparison to the ryukin, and they have a little bit more strength and and quality to the fish, and they can endure a little bit more than your high quality Ryukin could, for example. But it looks like we've got a huge selection of fish in this shop, which is really nice to see. Lots of different sizes and price ranges suitable for all budgets, which is really good at getting people into the hobby if they want to purchase some slightly smaller or cheaper fish, and then they can work their way up to the larger fish, and obviously you end up with a bigger and bigger tank, just like the one I've got behind me. But we've also got some really nice orandas as well, it looks like, in the shot, and not just the red and white fish, but also the calicos as well. Looking at the filters they've got on this, I'm really liking this style of filter. This looks like a backy shower that has been completely deconstructed into a flow-through system. We've got the spray bar on top with potentially lots of different medias. Now, I know the Japanese love to use Japanese matting, which is an absolutely great biological and mechanical filtration system. Now, if you want to use Japanese matting, it is a blue style of matting, and if you want to have it as a more of a biological surface area for bacteria, you can aerate it with air stones underneath, which help to keep it free from lots of debris and detritus. However, if you want to use it as a sort of coarse mechanical filter, you can just place it at the beginning of your filter, whether that is a canister, a sump, or a multi-bay, for example, if you are running a pond, and it does a great job at removing all of those solids from the water because of all the little plastic wires that it has woven into it. Now, it looks like we are now moving to the end or the edge of this shop, where they've got some slightly larger systems. Maybe they've got their slightly larger goldfish. We can see some really nice quality oranda. And now those oranda stood out to me a little bit. They look like they had a slightly top view Japanese Ranchu look to them. So maybe there is a breeder who has changed that top view Japanese Ranchu and has actually bred it with an oranda to give it that dorsal fin, which is quite interesting and something I personally haven't seen before. So that is a real new one to me, but it makes sense. It should be fairly simple to do, crossbreeding the Japanese top view Ranchu with the oranda and then selecting the only fish that have that dorsal fin attribute to them. We've also got some Blackmores that it looks like here with the nice splayed tails and those telescope eyes to them. Nice and small, great for beginners. And these fish are in really shallow ponds. You'll notice that the fancy goldfish do best in the shallower systems. It puts less of a pressure on their body. They also get nice growth rates because they can easily swim down to the bottom foraging for algae and any potential insects in your pond. So if you are considering fancy goldfish in a pond style environment, I would always keep the water level below 60 centimeters. In an ideal world, I'd keep it around that 40 centimeter, 35 centimeter mark. However, with one thing with these shallow ponds, as this one is enclosed, they don't have to worry about it. But if your pond is outdoors and not enclosed or netted, you do need to be worried about birds of prey like herons because they will easily get your fish. These fish are not built for speed. They are not quick fish at all. So we want to make sure they are nicely protected. Now on my pond outside, the depth is around 55 centimeters, which I would say is the maximum you want to look at for Japanese top view Ranchu or fancy goldfish in general. But I do have a nice cover which helps to stop the local cats and any passing herons as well. Now, you can definitely keep fancy goldfish in deeper ponds. Obviously, in the shop that we can see here, they're nice and shallow, which gives them ease when catching the fish from the water. So it helps any shopkeepers or any staff to catch the fish nice and quickly and effectively out of the water. But you can keep, I know there are people that keep fancy goldfish in ponds of a meter depth or even longer. Now, these are absolutely okay for the larger fish. I wouldn't say they are the best environment for them, but you definitely can do it. However, a lot of people have experienced, or a lot of people have mentioned, that if you're keeping small fish in a really deep body of water, it can have an effect on the level of development of the back and the genetic sort of variation in the fish. Now, a young Ranchu may slowly have that curvature which grows and develops as the fish ages, but if you're putting it in a deeper tank, people say that that curve can become a lot more pronounced, or it could have some potential pressure issues on the fish. So I definitely consider keeping them in the shallower water if you can. Now, it looks like we may have some other fish. I'm not too sure what those fish are. They're definitely not goldfish, and they're not any tropical fish that I've come across before. So potentially they are some sort of Japanese cold water fish that I haven't seen. But now we're back onto some Ranchu. We've got some black top some black knot top view ranchu. We've got some little black ranchu and some telescope eyes, some moors and stuff like that. These guys look like they are quite suitable for all budgets and quite a sort of low-end fish. We've got some nice potential tamasaba, but they look to be more like ryukin. And you'll notice now we have a lot more substrate in the tanks. Now I assume these tanks are potentially running under gravel filters, or they're using that gravel to provide beneficial bacteria for these systems to make sure the ammonia and nitrate is kept in check. Now these ranchu here really stand out to me. These are telescope eye ranchu, which I've never actually seen before. You'll see that the fish aren't of a great quality. They've got sort of kinks in the back. They haven't got that perfect quality, but I've never seen a telescope eye ranchu, and you can see it's very easy and constant and changed throughout the years. There is lots of crossbreeding of the different species and lots of changes going on to the body structure, the eyes, the fins, the swimming patterns, everything like that. So we have come across all of the fish in the video now. Hopefully you've enjoyed seeing all of those different fish, and hopefully you enjoyed my narration over the top. You can see we've got some different goldfish foods on display, and I actually did pick up a few of those when I visited Japan about 3 years ago. I did pick up a few of the Japanese own brand goldfish foods, and I did try them out and I was very pleased with them as well. But obviously now they are quite expensive to import over. But if I do head back to Japan one day, which I really hope I do, I definitely will be picking up some more of that Japanese goldfish food, because clearly it is working for these guys. And I'm pretty sure it is actually made in Japan itself, and the quality control I'm sure is very, very good in comparison to some of the big brands that sort of bulk their foods up a little bit. So we have now drawn to the end of the video, and once again I really want to thank Ryo for his great video and great content as always. I'm a big fan of his videos and his YouTube channel, and the selection of fish that he's shown throughout this video, some absolutely beautiful pearl scales there. Pearl scales aren't one for me, but I absolutely love those. They are real nice, high quality, really great body structure overall. But that is the end of this shop tour, and we are coming to an end of all of the fish. So that is the end of the footage now, so I'll just wrap up the video and finish up. So I hope you enjoyed this video. If you've got any comments or queries, let me know down below in the comment section. Also, if you want to have your tank featured on the channel in the Rate My Tank series or the Tank Tour series, then pop me an email down below. The email is in the description, fancygoldfishfanatics@gmail.com, and we can get your tank or your setup on our Rate My Tank series or our Tank Tour series. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you've got any video recommendations or you like what I'm currently doing, please just let me know. I really want to hear what you guys think. As always, remember to keep those water changes up, and happy fish keeping.